Hello everyone, it's William Sitwell here, patron of the Northants Food and Drink Awards. I'm sorry that I can't be with you. Well, none of us can be with each other right now. It's been a very strange year for so many of us, and particularly within hospitality. My heart goes out to all of the brilliant restaurateurs, the pub owners, all of the people working hard in the cafes, all the staff who've been working so hard this year. I really feel for you. But of course, there have been great glimmers of hope, and many people within the food and drink sector have diversified and have had not a bad year, or not as bad a year as they might have done. But what I will say, having cast my eye across the range of products that have been shortlisted for this year's awards, I've been lucky enough to judge one of the actual categories. I would tell you that the quality is as good as ever. So even if it's been a difficult year, you've put your heart and your souls into producing some of the finest food that this country sees, from chutneys and drinks to relishes and pies. Northamptonshire really does produce some of the best food. And if it's made in Northamptonshire, it always feels better, and it certainly tastes great. So have a great award ceremony wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you next year.
Good evening and welcome to the 12th Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards, this year with our new headline sponsor Witavix. This has been a very different year to the one we anticipated in January, but the continued promotion of our venues, food heroes and producers would not have been possible without the support of our generous sponsors. And they are Weetabix, Booker, British Pepper and Spice, Daily Bread, Dawn Farms, Haygates Flour and Animal Feed, Howes Percival, Moulton College, Northampton College and Whitworth Brothers Flour Millers, who've once again shown their incredible support for the sector. Our associate sponsors are Semlep, Warner's Distillery, and I'm pleased to say Musk Process Services, who are new to the fold this year. Thank you to all of you. The support, energy, commitment and understanding of our sponsors has been outstanding. Without exception, they wanted to support our entrants and our finalists in this very difficult year. May I also thank our mystery shoppers and judges who've been amazing this year. This competition would not be possible without you. Thank you. As you can imagine, our mantra this year has been all about maintaining the integrity of the competition with safety at the forefront of our engagement, and I'm glad we persevered. So the awards this year will be in two parts, and this is what you might call the first course. Predominantly pre-recorded last week before lockdown, without any households mixing and in line with government guidelines, it celebrates our producers through 6 categories and a couple of surprises. And I'm thrilled that Anna Murby will shortly talk us through the finalists and MC the event. We are backing the nearly 40 finalists we're celebrating tonight because we want you to remember to buy their produce and drink, especially during lockdown. The previous lockdown enabled some of our Northamptonshire foodies to buy more local and support the independent delis, farm shops and online stores, and we encourage you wholeheartedly to continue to do that. Quality and provenance are important, and there are some remarkable examples of the finest Northamptonshire has to offer on the list this evening. And while we can't all be together in person, I'd like to think that we're together thanks to the power of technology and social media, so please do interact with us in that way. And don't forget to use the designated hashtag WNFAD20. And remember, tonight's all about celebrating each other and what the county has as a food and drink community. Every year, I usually stand in front of 550 people at the dinner and say that each one of the finalists is a winner. They have made it through the long listing, short listing, reviews of labelling, testimonials, food hygiene rating checks, Zoom interviews, tastings, and in some cases mystery shopping, and are now able to use the Finalists logo. Indeed, I would say that the judging process has been even more robust and included some remarkable experts from across the country. At the end of the announcements, I'll be back to tell you more about the second course, our Part 2 event, when we will have a more interactive session celebrating chefs, local food heroes, dining venues, college students and world cuisine, when all of our eateries are open to the public again. And please don't forget that many of those finalists are still open, providing takeaways and delivery services. And I'll show you the lists of finalists so that you can see what they're doing in lockdown and support them too. We'll also continue to promote all of our finalists and winners across all of our media platforms. My favourite Witavix advert at the moment is the one where the little girl manages to catch a large submarine as she's fishing on the beach with her family. The awards team feel that we've managed to secure something particularly special with our new headline sponsor, and I'm delighted to be introducing Witavix's Marketing Director to welcome you. Over to you, Fran.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm so pleased that you like the submarine. It was a huge amount of fun to film down in Portsmouth and definitely one of my favourite Witavix adverts too. And I'm delighted to be representing the Witavix Food Company as headline sponsors this evening. I'm so pleased that we have the opportunity to step into what some might say are the incredibly big shoes of long-time sponsors Carlsberg UK. And speaking of shoes, whilst I admit I think we're a little way off the 900 years of shoemaking in the area, I hope that our 88 years of history in the region has made us something of a local landmark, as well as the nation's favourite breakfast brand. That history, I think, gives us some perspective, and it also gives us huge hope in these tough times through the ability to recognise the resilience, the innovation, the adaptability of our stellar Northamptonshire industry. As a frontline food manufacturer, we have remained open throughout the lockdown, and on behalf of the executive leadership team at the Weetabix Food Company, I owe a huge debt of gratitude to our workforce who haven't missed a shift and have kept the nation so well fed throughout this pandemic. We have avoided the need to furlough our team, but I want to recognise that so many of you in the audience will have had to have faced that tough choice, and my heart goes out to you. So as we head into the winter and another lockdown, I'm very aware that some of us are going to be feeling pretty bleak, but I'm also really convinced that evenings like tonight will give us all a bit of a lift and help us recognise just the very best of what Northamptonshire can achieve when we're up against it and we need to dig deep. And blimey, so many of you have dug deep over the last 9 months or so. As I mentioned, the Weetabix brand is born and bred in Northamptonshire. We actually set up in Burton Latimer way back in 1932. And why Burton Latimer? Well, it was and it still remains the centre of the UK's wheat farming community. And indeed, we actually source all of our wheat for Witavix proudly from within 50 miles of our Weetabix mills. And if that is a fact, we're extremely proud of, both me personally and every single colleague in Witavix HQ. We do believe that the quality of the wheat grown in the region is truly unrivaled, and it's key to the quality of so many of the foods that we make out of our factories. And that commitment to better breakfast, to provide better lives for British families, means that we've got a real sense of responsibility to Northamptonshire's community, its landscape, its local wildlife and its industry. And with that in mind, we didn't need a lot of convincing when Rachel and Anna approached us about the opportunity to be such a part of this amazing initiative. So stepping up as this headline sponsor really gave us the chance to just step back and think about how we promote our ambition for sustainability further than what we're doing today. And with that in mind, it gave us a chance to create a new award category. And I'm delighted to announce that in the addition to our long-standing Food Hero Award, this evening we're announcing a new award, the Weetabix Sustainability Award. Finalists, you will all know that sustainability was a big part of many of your entry form questionnaires. And it's been so wonderful to see the amazing work and the amazing progress that's been going on around sustainability, particularly in these most difficult of times. And I'm thrilled to announce that later this evening, our Witavix Supply Chain and Technical Director, John Petrie, will be revealing the Bronze, Silver and Gold Award winners in our inaugural year. By all accounts, it was an extremely tough competition, and I applaud you all for all of the amazing work you've been doing. I'd like to add my personal congratulations to all of the finalists in the Witavix Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards 2020. The entrepreneurial spirit and the skills that we've seen in this year's awards have been extraordinary. And what's been incredibly moving is seeing the generosity and the care that so many of you have given to your local communities. I salute you all, our Northamptonshire Food and Drink heroes. Without question, you are all heroes. And so to our category and associate sponsors, a huge thank you for everything you've done this year. I know that this is so often beyond just the obvious funding that you offer. The funding is critical, but the added value through the mentoring, the judging that you give to so many of our local industries is so thrilling to see. And to our media partners, your support is also huge. It's been a huge benefit over the years, and I know will continue to be a benefit to the Bronze, the Silver and the Gold Award winners that you give support to in order to promote their businesses, drive awareness and grow as a result. And thank you for that. So I think the only thing left to say is I hope you've all had your Weetabix today. I'll pass you back to the awards team and to Anna to get started on our first category.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for joining us, albeit virtually, for this evening's celebration. Now, normally I would begin my part of the night by giving you a few housekeeping details, encourage you to try to get on with the person you're sitting next to and guiding you as to where the toilets are, but hopefully you've got both of those cracked tonight. So our first category is the Artisan Local Product of the Year. This year it saw both sweet and savoury products being judged in one category, and it's sponsored by Haygate's Flour and Animal Feed. Before I welcome Mr. Haygate to announce the bronze, silver and gold recipients, here are the finalists, which in the case of all categories this evening, I will announce in alphabetical order. Apple and Fig Chutney from Friars Farm in Northampton. The judges said it had a superb balance of flavours, great tasting of both elements. Basic Bitch from the Brooklyn Brownie Company in Northampton. Great chocolatey flavour and visually so appealing. Extra apricot and pineapple jam from Green Kitchen Preserves in Northampton. Very Moorish and a super local story to boot. Fiorentina beef ribs from Squisito Butchers and Provisions at Yelvertoft. Succulent beefy bits, which the judges loved. Giardiniera from Nakasiro in Northampton. An amazing aroma from the moment you open the jar. One of the judges said right up his street. Mango caramel popcorn from What's Poppin' in Northampton. One of the best ready-made popcorns I've ever had, wrote one. Nettle ice cream from Gander's Goat at Cottingham. A super flavour and a wonderful creamy texture to match. And finally, sweet potato pie with spinach and tomato from Sol Laughaven CIC at Moulton. Good balanced flavours with just a hint of warming spice. The Haygate family have been farming in Northamptonshire since 1562 and took over the mill in the early 19th century, although there's been one on the banks of the River Nen at Bugbrook ever since the Domesday Book was compiled in 1086. You can now buy their flour directly in 16 kilogram bags, including the Northampton Pride flour. And so it's over to Mr. Haygate for the results.
Thank you very much, Anna. And what a year it's been. But it's absolutely brilliant we can all be here tonight to celebrate the Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards 2020. Thank you to Anna, Rachel and the team for all their hard work, because I know it's been particularly difficult for obvious reasons this year. On that note, I would like to also just offer our sponsorship as a company, Haygates Flour and Animal Feed Millers, to the 2021 Food and Drink Awards going forward. We really look forward to that, and hopefully by then we'll all be able to celebrate under one roof. Now, Haygates is a family business, and we've been supporting the Food and Drink Awards for some time. And we take great privilege and honour in supporting the Artisan Local Product of the Year Award this year. We've seen a lot of great produce from the whole of the county, and it just goes to show what a brilliant food producer Northamptonshire actually is. But without further ado, what I'd like to do now is go on to the awards themselves. So what I'll do is I'll start with the Bronze Award. So I'll open my envelope. Awarded bronze in the Artisan Local Product of the Year category are Apple and Fig Chutney by Friars Farm in Northampton, Basic Biatch by Brooklyn Brownie Co in Northampton. I do hope I've said that right. Mango Caramel Popcorn by What's Poppin' in Northampton, and Nettle Ice Cream by Gander's Goat in Cottingham. Well done to you all, congratulations. Awarded silver in the Artisan Local Product of the Year category are Extra Apricot and Pineapple Jam by Green Kitchen Preserves in Northampton. Congratulations. Fiorentina Beef Ribs by Squisito Butchers and Provisions in Yelvertoft. Congratulations to all of you as well. Awarded gold in the Witavix Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards Artisan Local Product of the Year category are Giardiniera by Nakasero Foods in Northampton, Sweet Potato Pie with Spinach and Tomato by Solog Havens CIC in Moulton. Many congratulations to all of you, in particular the Gold Award.
A massive thank you to the Haygate family for their continuing support of the awards, and indeed to our judges right across the various processes involved in this category, not least to Dan Innes-Fitzhugh, to Susanna Booth and William Sitwell, who helped to determine the results. You heard my mention a little bit about why they were all so deserving of being finalists. Please do go out and support them all. They need your help this year more than ever. So to our second category this evening, that of Artisan Local Vegetarian Vegan Product of the Year, sponsored by Daily Bread, a workers' cooperative based in Northampton. November is World Vegan Month, so it's a double celebration to be announcing the finalists this evening and the results, but a triple celebration when we remember that on the 1st of October this year, Daily Bread celebrated its 40 years in business. Our finalists in this category are Chocolate and Courgette Cake from Sollag Haven CIC in Moulton. A lovely chocolatey flavour, sumptuous looking cake with a great sauce accompaniment. Giardiniera from Nakasero in Northampton. A taste and texture to live up to the promise of the jar, said the judges. Habanero and red onion relish from Bite Me Spices in Northampton. A really clever mix of spices and full of flavour. Lime pickle from Papa's Dabba in Northampton. Great lime flavour and a super touch to have the chilli flakes adding that great visual appeal. Matcha tea brownies from Pure and Raw Goodies in Northampton. Lovely brownie flavour and a texture to go with it. Salted vanilla popcorn from What's Poppin' in Northampton. Amazingly buttery flavour and a lovely golden colour. Sarah's Parmigiana from Squisito Butchers and Provisions at Yelvertoft. Very tasty, good texture and a lovely aroma of tomato and herbs. And finally, savoury vegetable pie from Sollag Haven CIC at Moulton. Delicate flavours coming through from all of the vegetables put together to create an excellent dish. Our sponsor, Daily Bread, originated from a church group at St Peter's Church in Weston Favell in Northampton. The founders of the cooperative wished to develop a business that reflected their beliefs, and as we heard, the store opened on the 1st of October 1980. The rest is history. So here's the results.
Thanks, Anna. And as she has just said, we at Daily Bread are proud to be celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, and we are pleased to be sponsors again in this category of the Artisan Local Vegetarian and Vegan Product of the Year. And with no exception, these products are of great quality. We are now going to do the awards.
Thank you, Sharon. Awarded bronze in the Artisan Local Vegetarian and Vegan Product of the Year category are Chocolate and Courgette Cake by Soul Lang Heavens CIC in Malton, Matcha Tea Brownies by Pure and Raw Goodies in Northampton, Sarah's Parmigiana by Squisito Butchers and Provisions in Yelverton.
And awarded silver,
the silver goes to Habanero and Red Onion Relish by Bite Me Spices in Northampton, Lime Pickle by Papa's Daba in Northampton, Savory Vegetable Pie by Soul Lang Havens CIC in Malton.
and awarded gold for 2020.
Giardiniera by Nakasero Foods in Northampton, and Salted Vanilla Popcorn by What's Poppin' in Northampton.
Massive congratulations to our gold winners this evening. But as I said earlier on, all of our finalists really want your support, so please do go out and give them that. To Daily Bread for acting as our sponsor for this category again. We know that your birthday celebrations have been a bit muted this year, but we'll make up for it next year, don't you worry. And also thank you to the Vegetarian Society, who worked so closely with us at third stage judging to help determine the results. And so to our category, which needs a sponsor for next year, if you're interested. The Artisan Local Drink of the Year, encouraged and supported by Carlsberg UK's involvement and inspiration, continues to go from strength to strength. This year's finalists are Addington Garden Cider, from Addington Garden Cider in Great Addington. Blue Aurora Dusk, from Lutton Farm at Lutton. Blue Aurora Ice, from Lutton Farm at Lutton. And Blue Aurora Midnight, from Lutton Farm at Lutton. Frogstar from Hollowell Cider at Hollowell. Octopus from Hollowell Cider at Hollowell. Perfect Pear from Healy's of Winwick in Winwick. And Stonyfield Rosé 2016 from Stonyfield Wine at Blisworth. Our media partner for this category is BBC Radio Northampton, and I'm delighted to welcome, if not a familiar face, then certainly a familiar voice to announce the results.
Thank you, Anna. Tom Percival here from BBC Radio Northampton, and I think this year in particular we can feel most proud of how we have all adapted to home working with a sense of seriousness and diligence, not getting distracted by puerile and infantile tasks, but sticking our hand to the pump and really getting on with things. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'll finish you later on. Just pop you there. Now, I represent BBC Radio Northampton, as I said, and we are particularly proud to once again be media partners for the Artisan Local Drink of the Year category at the Food and Drink Awards. I'm particularly thrilled to be announcing the results for this year's award. I don't envy the judges, because if you're anything like me, you've been drinking a lot more alcohol this year, and you'll know how tough a task it is to pick between the fantastic producers we have in our great county. But without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to announce the winners. And we'll start with the bronze envelope. Awarded bronze in the Artisan Local Drink of the Year category are Addington Garden Cider by Addington Garden Cider in Great Addington. Blue Aurora Dusk by Lutton Farm in Lutton. Blue Aurora Midnight by Lutton Farm in Lutton. And Frogstar by Hollowell Cider in Hollowell. And awarded silver in the Artisan Local Drink of the Year category are Hogtopus by Hollowell Cider in Hollowell. Perfect Pear by Healy's of Winwick. in Winnick. And last but by no means least, exciting stuff, the gold envelope. Here we go. Awarded gold in the Witavix Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards Artisan Local Drink of the Year category are Blue Aurora Ice by Lutton Farm in Lutton and Stonyfield Rosé 2016, particularly good year, by Stonyfield Wine in Blisworth. Many congratulations to all the finalists and in particular our gold winners.
A very big thank you to all at BBC Radio Northampton for their continuing support across the categories for this year's awards. And of course to our judges, including our keynote speaker from last year's awards, Ollie Smith, who you can see pictured here. Alongside two other nationally renowned sector experts, they determine the results. And I repeat, we want you to support all of the finalists from this evening, but just to give a little more detail about why those two golds were awarded. The Blue Aurora Ice wine, they said, which is made from 100% English blueberries and hand-picked on Lutton Farm, is a beautiful deep ice wine, great balance, super pairing with a chocolate fondant wrote one, and great work and a real treat. A delicious avoidance of sheer sweetness and real skill in allowing the more zesty contrasting flavours to flourish, said another. Bravo, summed up the third, who called it a deliciously fruity, velvety liquor, which is easy to drink for all occasions. Meanwhile, Stonyfield's Rosé by Stonyfield Wine was scored so highly by one judge because he felt it was perfectly crafted, an excellent, well-balanced fruit sparkling wine which exceeded his expectations. Ollie said it was a great value bubbly that sings of its Northamptonshire roots. A lovely salmon pink colour with lovely biscuity notes, said the third. The vineyard itself is family owned, 1 acre, established in 2011 on ground made up of soil from the digging of the Grand Union Canal and Tunnel in the 18th century. I trust they'll be toasting their success now. Can I just say, before we move on to our next category, that a reminder that this evening is a pre-recorded broadcast, but we are live across social media. So please do find and follow us on the various platforms using the hashtag WNFAD20 for your contributions. So moving from products to businesses, we have 3 categories that focus on the business potential and current success of the sector. The first is the one to watch category, which does exactly what it says on the tin and is sponsored by Whitworth Brothers Limited in Wellingborough. All of our finalists this evening have been offered the chance for mentoring to see where the recognition of their potential will lead them over the next 12 months. Judging through nomination, entry form, personal testimony, and a Zoom interview with some formidable business experts, including the chair of SEMLET, president of Northamptonshire Chamber, 2 business directors, and technical accounts manager from Whitworth Brothers Limited, this category received more entries than previous years and indeed could have had double the number of finalists. Here they are. Brooklyn Brownie Company in Northampton, Butler's Pie Company in Brackley, Nakasero in Northampton, What's Poppin' Northampton, Whittleby Bakery in Whittlebury. Our sponsor of this category, Whitworth Brothers Limited, manufacture flours in some of the most technically advanced mills in the world, but I think there'll be more about that to come in future months. Managing Director Mike Peters joins us to reveal the results.
Thanks, Anna. Whitworth Brothers Limited are delighted to have sponsored the Want to Watch category again this year. This was a very difficult judging process, made all the harder given the range of excellent new businesses that have launched in the past 12 months and those startups who have grown in these difficult times. Awarded bronze in the Want to Watch category 2020 is Butler's Pie Company from Brackley. Awarded silver in the Want to Watch category are Brooklyn Brownie Company Northampton and Nakasero of Northampton. Awarded gold in the Witavix Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards One to Watch category are What's Poppin', Northampton, and Whittlebury Bakery, Whittlebury. Many congratulations to all the finalists, and in particular our 2 gold winners.
Thank you very much, Mike, and congratulations to our very deserved 2 gold winners. The first, What's Popping, set up an online market supporting 30 local businesses during lockdown, reached 100,000 people over social media over 20 weeks, and showed that you can come back from adversity when hospitality and events are closed down. Not to mention producing the first dairy-free range in the UK. The judges were so impressed with Mark's attitude and commitment. And Whittlebury Bakery, which has gone from strength to strength since 2019, employing 26 staff now from its original 7, with a new site and a much larger bakery and cookery school. Andrew Collins is focused on helping young people learn about baking with his kids club and works closely with Moulton College Food and Drink Innovation Centre. He's even planning to grow his own wheat. And so we move on to the F&B Achiever of the Year category, one that recognises and celebrates someone who has made or continues to make a significant contribution to the food and drink sector, and is sponsored by Howes Percival. This category includes a farmer, a pub, landlords, deli owner and drinks producer. It really does represent the wide variety of success across the sector. And this year, the finalists are Rachel Bradshaw from Hampton Fine Foods Deli in Long Buckby, Lawrence Conisby of Wharf Distillery in Towcester, Richard Gordon of the Greedy Gordons at Twywell, Teresa Mccarthy of the Swan and Helmet in Northampton, Zoe Mee from Me Farmers at Nassington, and Dennis Wilmot from the Bell Inn at Findon. Expert lawyers in the East Midlands for over 200 years, our sponsors, Howes Percival, are pretty good at winning awards themselves. Most recently, the Insider Media East Midlands Dealmakers Award, SME Deal of the Year 2020, for a management buyout. We love them for their support of the sector in Northamptonshire, most recently supporting SMEs with some employment advice during furlough as part of the Witavix Northamptonshire Food and Drink webinar series. That was held in the summer as furlough moved into the Flexible Furlough Scheme, or FFS. Some of the other webinars included procurement, trading on Amazon, and the helping the hospitality sector to reopen with safe and fantastic facilities. We're so grateful to all of those who are involved in that most valuable of series. So with a vision to deliver excellence as standard, can I introduce Matthew Tolbert, who is head of the firm's Intellectual Property and Information Technology practice, himself named as the leading lawyer of the year outside London for the technology, media and telecom sector in the prestigious Legal 500 UK Awards 2020, to announce the results.
Anna, thank you. Howes Percival are thrilled to have sponsored the F&B Achiever category again this year. I had the pleasure of judging this category again, and once more, myself and my fellow judges had a tough but rewarding afternoon meeting some very worthy winners. So without further ado, I will announce the winners in turn, starting with the bronze winners. Awarded bronze in the F&B Achiever of the Year category are Rachel Bradshaw from Hampton Fine Foods Deli in Long Buckby, Teresa Mccarthy from the Swan and Helmet in Northampton, and Dennis Wilmot from the Bell Inn in Findon. And on to the silver winners. So awarded silver in the F&B Achiever of the Year category are Lawrence Conisby from Wharf Distillery in Towcester and Zoe Mee from Me Farmers at Nassington. And now the gold winner. Awarded the gold in the Weetabix Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards F&B Achiever of the Year category is Richard Gordon from the Greedy Gordons at Twywell. Many congratulations to all the finalists, in particular to our gold winner, to Richard and his team. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matthew, and to Howes Percival for your continuing support. And of course, massive congratulations to our gold winner, who demonstrated a real commitment to the area, to the great Northamptonshire Village Pub, and to investing in venues so that they become award-winning. Born in Barton Seagrave, Richard Gordon has always had a heart for the county and wanted to bring his passion for a cosy pub, the smell of a real fire, superbly cooked meat, a tipple of choice, local where possible, for all of us to enjoy. From the Red Line at Cranford to the Snooty Fox, the Pig and Waffle and the GG Express, Richard and his partner know what is great and are committed to achieving it. Please do support all of our finalists this evening. And on that note, before we leave this category aside, something rather special for this year. And for that, I'd like to hand back to Matthew for a special award.
Thank you, Anna. In today's business world, people, on average, change careers 5 to 7 times. Within each of those careers, they will often change jobs multiple times as well. However, the winner of the inaugural Lifetime Achievement Award is one of very few people not to be in this statistic. Therefore, I am delighted to award the Witavix Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards Lifetime Achievement Award of 2020 to Dennis Wilmot, landlord of the Bell Inn at Findon. Many congratulations, Dennis.
Massive congratulations to you, Dennis, for your special and very deserved award. And we can't wait to be able to join you at the Bell Inn in Findon to celebrate before too long, we hope. And so to one of our new awards for 2020, inspired and instigated by our headline sponsor, Witavix, as Fran explained earlier. Sustainability is an increasingly important aspect for the sector, and Red Tractor certified Witavix works closely with local farmers that they know and trust to bring the best quality wheat, grown in the most responsible way, with less fertiliser, a smaller carbon footprint and protected hedgerows. It's not known as Britain's favourite breakfast for nothing. Our judges, including the chair of the Centre for Sustainable Business Practices at the University of Northampton, Dr. Amin Farr, and John Clark from Daily Bread. And the finalists are Blue Skies at Pittsford, Farrington Oils at Hargrave, Gander's Goat in Cottingham, The Good Loaf in Northampton, and Waterloo Cottage Farm at Great Oxenden. Also on the judging panel was Witavix's Supply Chain and Technical Director, John Petrie, who will now tell us a little bit more about the category and reveal the all-important results.
Thank you, Anna. Weetabix have launched a Change for Better sustainability strategy under the 4 pillars of sustainable ingredients, reducing packaging waste, efficient operations, and health and well-being. Inspired by that, this new category is to recognise a business, person or organisation who've had a sustainability initiative that's had a positive impact under one or more of these 4 pillars, and also who can be a role model for others in the sector. As we were judging this category, it was fantastic to see the great things being done by businesses of all sizes at all stages of development in our area. So, in the Weetabix Sustainability category, winning the Bronze Award, I'm pleased to announce it was Gander's Goat of Cottingham and The Good Loaf, Northampton. Gaining a Silver Award in the Weetabix Sustainability category is Blue Skies of Pittsford and Waterloo Cottage Farm, Great Oxenden. And the gold winner in the Witavix Sustainability category is Farrington Oils of Hargrave. I'd like to thank all of our winners and congratulate in particular our gold winners. Thank you.
Thank you to you, John, and to all at Witavix for helping us introduce this all-important category, one that saw some outstanding entries. But of course, our gold winner not only has a powerful Northamptonshire story, but global interests at heart. A leaf farmer for 25 years, linking environment and farming that is, in January this year, Duncan Farrington's Mellow Yellow became the world's first food brand to be certified as both carbon and plastic neutral by the United Nations, 30 years ahead of the UK target. They became signatories of the United Nations Neutral Now Initiative pledge and achieved the carbon neutral gold standard, signifying that through supporting reforestation and green energy schemes, they have offset all of their carbon emissions. Coupled with Duncan's passion for the soil and the impact that sustainability has on staff and communities, all judges agreed that this was an impressive first gold in this category. Well, our next category needs a special introduction, and for that, I'll pass you back to our awards director, Rachel Mallows.
Our last category of the evening is something rather special, and we hope an unexpected surprise for our recipients. Through all the nominations and entries this year were some really remarkable stories of how individuals and businesses had gone above and beyond for their communities. We wanted to reward them, particularly for what they did during the lockdown, where they went the extra mile and not for personal or financial gain. To that end, we asked our Lord Lieutenant, James Saunders Watson, to make these announcements, and so over to James at Rockingham Castle.
2020 has already been a difficult year for the country, and not least our hard-working hospitality sector, pubs, restaurants, producers, to name a few. It therefore seemed right and appropriate to introduce an additional category for this year's awards. And I'm delighted to have been asked to present the COVID-19 Local Hero Award. There are no bronze or silvers for this category, given the exceptional work all of these people have done over the past 8 months. Awarded gold in the COVID-19 Local Hero category. Greenacres Rural Enterprise, CIC, Staverton. John Brownhill for his work with Food for Heroes. Teresa Mccarthy from the Swan and Helmet in Northampton. Wharf Distillery in Toaster, and the Red Lion at Cranford. Many congratulations to you all, heroes in every sense of the word, and we are all very, very proud of you.
Thank you very much, James, for your support, and of course we hope that being locked down at Rockingham Castle isn't too traumatic for you. But to our recipients, Greenacres Rural Enterprise Centre, which offers informal education opportunities for young people who are not in full-time education, helping them to learn to grow and cook their own food. It supports other local businesses too by sourcing local wherever possible. And while during lockdown its cafe was closed, Greenacres was busier than ever, remaining open to support students classed as vulnerable and cooking and delivering meals to local elderly people who were shielding. Do you recall the exhausted Teary York nurse whose Facebook video post from her car about being unable to buy food from her empty local supermarket went viral back in March? Well, it was seeing that inspired our second recipient, South Northamptonshire businessman John, and his sister, who runs a fine dining catering company in Huddersfield, to set up Food for Heroes, a not-for-profit organisation supporting frontline NHS staff struggling to get hold of food. Since the 24th of March, it has supported 43 hospitals, delivered almost a staggering $250,000 meals, and has raised over £400,000. Phase 2 of the project shifts towards supporting the needs of communities where the need is ever growing, for mental health, vulnerable adults, deprived families, and the plan is it will continue to operate even when COVID-19 is a distant memory. Already a bronze winner this evening, Teresa Mccarthy from Northampton Swan and Helmet adds a deserved gold for her hard work in helping out vulnerable members of the community from the very start of lockdown, delivering thousands of food parcels and hot meals to schools, community groups, and across the local area, to starting a food bank, which operated as a real lifeline to many families. When the pub reopened, the team continued to offer support with garden and home makeovers and the start of a new food larder. Teresa herself has started a registered charity, the McCarthy Dixon Foundation, and it was one of 6 national finalists in the Outstanding Business of Lockdown category in the Hospitality Lockdown Heroes Awards, recognising the business for their dynamism, resourcefulness and support during the pandemic. Last month, Teresa ran the London Marathon, well, albeit in Northampton, to raise money for essential home repairs and refurbishments for valued members of the community, putting her money, well, her calf muscles anyway, where her mouth is. Our 4th gold winner is the Red Lion Pub at Cranford. So another gong for our F&B gold winner, Richard Gordon, and double celebrations for you tonight. As our reigning Booker Food Pub of the Year, the pub set about leading a team of volunteers, including furloughed staff who were keen to help out, in supplying a thrice weekly non-profit making shopping service for 4 local villages. They set up an online ordering system to then source, pack and deliver fresh meat, fruit and vegetables. They supported Kettering Food Bank by offering their pub as a donation hub for non-perishable food, to which they then added and donated £1,000 to the food bank from money that they made while carrying out their deliveries. And last but by no means least, let's raise a glass to Wharf Distillery, which, when the demand for the stuff first kicked in, quickly converted ethanol that would otherwise have been destined for their gin to making hand sanitizer. Working to the WHO formulation, they produced thousands of litres and supplied to organisations working with the most vulnerable key worker groups, high-risk individuals and the general public, including volunteers at St John Ambulance, the Samaritans and both Cynthia Spencer and Willen Hospices. And money-making wasn't their objective. Indeed, they even set up a GoFundMe page to help in their efforts to provide it free, with the pledge that every litre of sanitizer paid for through donations, they would match with another litre. 5 deserved gold winners. I'm sure you'll agree. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first course of our awards celebration, but for now, let me hand you back to Awards Director Rachel Mallows.
Thank you, Anna. And what an evening. And a huge thank you to everyone who's made it through to watching the end of our first course. We're sorry that lockdown has meant that this evening wasn't as interactive as we'd wanted. Our second course will be more so, and we hope to hear from some of our winners too. Let me now reveal our finalists for the second course, where there are 6 more categories. Booker Young Chef. Chef. Food and Drink College Student of the Year, which is a new category. Local Food Hero. World Cuisine Restaurant of the Year. Booker Dining Venue of the Year, which includes pubs and restaurants. And there's another surprise award and a few announcements to look forward to. Please support all our bronze, silver and gold winners from this evening. And look out for the Made in Northamptonshire logo. We celebrate 10 years next year and have 1 or 2 things up our sleeve to tell you about next time. But mainly please buy local. It makes a difference to the local economy, creates jobs and saves food miles. It also tastes delicious. Look out for interviews with our winners in the local press and on social media channels. As Fran said at the beginning, we couldn't do this competition without our media partners. So finally, a few more thank yous. To our new headline sponsors, Witavix, and to Sally West at Witavix in particular, for her insights and thoughtfulness. To our patrons, William Sitwell and Mary Lang, for their constant encouragement, wit and wisdom. To Christian, David and Megan at the Royal and Derngate for helping us with this recording. And sincere thank yous to my whole team, and in particular to Anna for her commitment to getting things right and her passion for our producers. To Catherine for her tenacity and professionalism, and to our social media queen Jill, and to Sarah for her design skills. This is a team effort, and there are many more behind the Mallows company name who enable this to work. So that's all for this evening. Much shorter than our usual event, which I know will please some of our sponsors, and I can't wait to see you all at the next one. We'll let you know when we're going live, but it will be when we're out of lockdown and venues are able to be open. So please raise a glass to all our bronze, silver and gold award winners tonight. I know that's what I'm going to do. Good night.